Hi, Matrix. We are busy with the acid and bases. It's Dr. Malia. Piece of paper, please. Your calculator, your periodic table, guys, your information sheet, and a piece of paper. You need to start writing with me. Titrations will be in every question paper. And it's not that difficult because you can always on this videos go back and have a look at previous lessons. So titrations we've covered before. We said an acid, remember what Lowry and Bronsted said? They donate a proton or a hydrogen. The bases will usually add the hydroxide. And can you see there? I will form water. Now they will ask you to firstly write the equation, balance the equation, and then finally a few questions. The technique we use to determine an unknown concentration is called a titration. Now, we've done a lesson on titrations and specifically how do you do the experiment. In this lesson, we're just going to do the calculations. So you've got an unknown substance and you've got a known substance. Can you remember what the known substance is called? A standard solution. So I know the following. I know a standard solution's what? I know the concentration. So how do you get to know the concentration? If I took 4 grams of sodium hydroxide, can you know something more than just the mass? Well, if you go to your stoichiometry or your quantitative aspects, which we did cover in a whole section, you will get the moles of sodium hydroxide in 4 grams. What do we know? If we've got 4 grams, we know the molar mass. Have a look at your periodic table. Have a look in your sodium little block. Can you see there at the bottom, just underneath the sodium, you'll find the 40. That means every mole will weigh 40 grams. I thus have 4, not 40. So this will give me a mole quantity of 0.1 mole. Can I get the concentration? Well, the concentration is the mole over the volume. So for instance, I've got my 0.1. I took in my calculation, let's say 0.10 cubic decimeters. That's the concentration, and I now have 1 mole per cubic decimeter. The fact is, guys, I need to know the concentration because it's a standard solution. This is the way we go about with the one solution. On the other hand, we'll have in our titration another substance with an unknown concentration. Let's get to a typical question. The volume of a 20 centimeter hydrochloric acid is provided to you. So I've got the volume of the acid as 20 cubic centimeters. The concentration of this specific hydrochloric acid is 0.5. So I've got my hydrochloric acid's concentration, I've got the volume. I neutralize sodium carbonate. Now, sodium carbonate, I only know that that was the volume. So the volume of the sodium carbonate is 25 cubic centimeters. And the question is, calculate the concentration of the sodium carbonate. So you, for instance, know you've got 20 cubic centimeters in there. You don't know the concentration, but you do know what I put in here. So I had 0.5 mole of the hydrochloric acid, and when I finished my titration, I saw I put in 20 cubic centimeters. Right, what I do first when I get a question like this, I firstly write down my chemical equation. I've got hydrochloric acid and sodium carbonate. I need to balance this. So 2 salts will form. Can you see I've got 2 sodiums there? Therefore, I've got to add 2 chloride. Can you see there? And if you have a look at this, there will be 2 hydrogens left there and CO3 there. And can you see the 1 oxygen, will bind to that to form water, and the remaining, and I specifically left it out so that you can see, you have to remember that there's also a carbon dioxide forming. And that's one of the reactions we did. We took sodium carbonate and that's what we did. So why is this important? Because in your equation, you had a balanced equation that looked like that. Why is this important? Can you see here? I've got 1 mole and 2 moles. So I immediately enter that into my table. What does that mean? It's a ratio. What do I have in the question that they asked me? They gave me the volume of the acid. They also gave me the concentration of the acid. They gave me the volume of the base, but they asked me that's the volume. They asked me the concentration of the base. Now I go to my formulae. My formula looks like this. The acid moles over the base. Guys, this I get from my equation. Is equal to the concentration of the acid times the volume of the acid over the concentration of the base over the volume of the base. There's a few ways to go about to do this. You can do any way and style as long as you get to the answer. Remember, this is what they asked me. Why is N equal to C times V? Because C is actually N over V. Can you see how we got to that final work that we've done here to get this equation? Right, what do I have? I've got, let's go back to our table, a 2-to-1 ratio. I've got 2 acids to 1 base. Is that completely right? I did that. What do I have more than that? I've got the volumes. I've got the volume of the acid, 20, and I've got the volume of the base. Let's go and complete that. The volume of the acid is 20, and the volume of the base is 25. Let me just draw a line here so that we can actually see what we're doing. Let me take that away so that you can see it's an equal sign. Right, and what did they give me more than that? They actually gave me the concentration of the acid. Can you see there? 0.5. Now let's add the 0.5 there. Can you see? I've got the concentration, the volume, and I've got that equation. There I can now find my concentration of my base, which is in actual fact 0.5 times 20 times 1 over 2 and 25. You might wonder, why am I working in cubic centimeters? Well, you've got both in cubic centimeters. And the answer should then be, and if you do that calculation, you should get an answer of, let me quickly have a look, 0.2 mole per cubic decimeter. What? It is the concentration of the sodium carbonate. So that was the question, we answered it. In another question, a volume of 20 cubic centimeters, volume of a 0.5 hydrochloric acid is used to neutralize, now it's something else, 25. Can you see there? So it's 25 of that. Now that was our previous question as well. Did we answer the concentration? Yes, we did. It's because there's another question asked there. Let me just go back to my previous answer. I got the question and I got the answer there as 0.2 mole per cubic decimeter. Let's go and see if we can get to the mass. If we've got the concentration now. Now I've got the concentration of the sodium carbonate as I calculated it just now. And they want me to calculate the mass. Can I get the mass? Well, I know the concentration is the mole per volume. I know it was 25 cubic centimeters. So I'm now going to try and get the moles. So that's C times V. The concentration is 0.2. Can you see there? I've got it. Multiply with 25 cubic centimeters. And now, guys, that need to be converted to cubic decimeters. So I'm going to divide that with 1,000, and that will give me the volume in cubic decimeters, because this is in cubic decimeters. So I've got 0.025 there, and if you do your little calculation, you will find that you've got 5 to the power of minus 3 times 10 to the power of minus 3 mole. Remember, that's mole. But that's not what they asked me. They asked me the mass. So let's see if we can now get to the mass. The N is the mass over the molar mass. I've got the N now. Do you see that answer there? I can substitute in there. And I've got always the molar mass. Now, that's what they asked me. The molar mass, I'm quickly going to show you, is sodium carbonate. What's the mass of sodium? It's 23. And you see I've got 2 of them. Carbon is 12. Let me do that. And do you see I've got 3 oxygens? And if you calculate that, you should get an answer of 106 grams. So I'm going to add that in there. And my mass is 106 multiplied by the moles. And you'll now get your answer of 0.53 grams. Do this calculation with me. And if you don't get the same answer, go back and repeat it with your pen, with your calculator, and obviously your periodic table. And another question. I've got sulfuric acid. Now you should be able to know that this is the formula for sulfuric acid. They again give me the volume of the acid, and they tell me it took that volume to neutralize that, and read carefully, of a potassium hydroxide. So they're asking me to calculate the concentration of the sulfuric acid. So let's write down what they gave us. They actually gave us no equation. So I first have to write down the equation. Now let's do that. What will form if I've got, just have a look again. I've got potassium hydroxide and I've got sulfuric acid. So I wrote that down. It's going to form water, we know. That will be potassium sulfate. And you know potassium looks like that. And sulfate looks like that. Therefore, 2 of these with that charge there. So that's the formula. Now you see, if you don't balance it, it's not going to work out. Do you see the 2 potassiums there? So I've got to add 2 potassiums there. I've got 2 H's and 2 OH's. Do you see I've got 2 waters forming there? So if you don't have a balanced equation, you can't do the calculations. Let's complete this table. And you know when we work with equilibrium, we usually have a table. What's the moles I have? Well, it's in front here. 1 mole of this will neutralize 2 of that. Let me do this in a very clear color. Can you see the 2 there? 2 there. 1 there, 1 there. What did they give me? They gave me the volumes. They said I've got 28 and 4. So I've got it in cubic decimeters already. Let's write that down. I've got from the sulfuric acid, I've got 0.028. I've got here 0.04. They gave me the concentration of the potassium and they're asking me to calculate the concentration of the sulfuric acid. The first thing I do is I write down my equation, which is on your information sheet. Guys, this counts a mark. You'll get a mark for this. So don't think you can just write down values. You need to write down the real equation. Now we're going to complete firstly this part. Where do I get that? From my equation. The acid was 1 to 2. Let me quickly show you. In this, that you see there, the 1 to 2 ratio. So I've got the 1 to 2 ratio. I've got the acid concentration to calculate. I've got the volume. I've got the concentration of the base. They gave me that. And they gave me the volume. Can you see the only item that's outstanding is the concentration of the acid? And you can now calculate it and do it with me and see if you get the answer as 0.143. And remember the unit for a concentration. It's mole per cubic decimeters. Let's go and have a look at another question. So I'm doing 3 questions in this lesson so that you can see the absolute seriousness of doing titrations. John makes up a 250 cubic centimeter of aqueous strontium hydroxide. There's the formulae for strontium hydroxide, and it has a concentration of that. So let's quickly just write down, what do we have? We've got Sr hydroxide, strontium hydroxide. We've got of that strontium hydroxide, we've got the volume at 250 cubic centimeters, and I know the concentration is 0.1 mole per cubic decimeter. It's at 25 degrees Celsius. They now ask me to do a calculation, and they are saying to me it's a strong base. A strong base means that all of it will be dissociated. So all of that will become strontium and hydroxide. So if I started here with 0.1, I'll probably have 0.1 there. And remember, this will be 2 times. Can you see the 2 there? So I'll have 2 times 0.1 there. Okay, let's have a look at the questions. Firstly, a theory question. Define a base. You know a base in terms of Bronsted and Lowry will be a proton acceptor. The proton donor is the acid, the proton acceptor is the Bronsted and Lowry base. And define a strong base. Now, important guys, if we said the base is a proton acceptor, a strong base will completely dissociate. Remember the word completely or partially. So all the strontium on this side, when it's in water, it will actually completely go to ions. They will dissociate like that. So why is this important? I'm going to say this again. If I've got one of these, I'll have one of these and 2 of that and nothing left of that. That is the completely dissociation cues that you've got to get. The third question, determine the mass of the strontium hydroxide. So what did they give me? They actually gave me the concentration and the volume. Can you see we can now do the calculations to determine the mass? So the first calculation I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the moles with that equation. So the mole will be the concentration times the volume. The concentration was 0.1 and the volume was, let me quickly have a look. They said in the beginning, I've got 250 cubic centimeters. So I've got 25 divided by the 1,000. So that will be 0.25. Was it 250 or was it, it's 250. Just don't make the same mistake as I did. So it's 0.25 times 0.1 and you'll now get an answer of 0.2025 mole. They wanted me to define and get the mass. So I need another calculation. Let's go and do the mass. The moles is the mass over the molar mass. The moles is now 0.025. Can you see? I'm taking that value there. I don't know the mass, but I can calculate the molar mass of strontium and 2 hydroxides. I did that and I got a value of 122 grams. So if you do that calculation, you'll get your mass as 3.05 grams. Do this calculation after the lesson and see if you get the same answer. And repeat it if you don't get that correct. Let's do the concentration of the hydronium ions in the solution. Remember, they gave me a few clues to do that. So I've got strontium, and that's the formula. I've got a complete, that I know, dissociation. So I'm forming those ions. Important. What's the relationship? Well, I've got 1 mole of strontium hydroxide giving me 2 moles of hydrogen. So what do they want me to do? They ask me to calculate the concentration of the hydronium ions. So let's go about doing that. So what we have now is I've got strontium hydroxide and I've got a relation with the hydroxide. So I've got one of these with a relationship to two of that, but that's not what I had. I calculated that to be 0.1. So then this will be 0.2. Can you see? It's 0.1 times 2 divided by the 1, which gives me a value of 0.2. If I know now that I've got a concentration of 0.2 mole per cubic decimeter, I now need to go to a new equation, which is on my information sheet. It's the one where I've got the Kw, the constant of water, and it gives me the hydronium times the hydroxide. What do I have? Have a look at this. I've got the hydroxide. That I have. It's 0.2. What do I always have? I've got the value of the constant. So it's 1 times 10 to the minus 14. And that leaves me with the hydronium that I can calculate. So the answer will be the hydronium concentration will be the 1 times 10 to the minus 14 divided by the 0.2, giving me 5 times 10 to the minus 14 mole per cubic decimeter. Guys, you need to apply pH and the constant for the water and titrations and all the stoichiometry that you've done. So you need to be able to define standard solutions, do all the identification of titrations as well as identify indicators, and then finally work out concentration, ions, and use all the information on your information sheet. Go and Google more examples so that you can practice this. I can guarantee you this will be in an exam paper. Bye.